Welcome to r/am I the butthole, where this man wonders if he's in the right or the wrong for telling his Indian girlfriend to stop cooking Indian food. Am I the butthole for not liking Indian food? My girlfriend is Indian. She moved to America a few years back. I am American, white if it matters, and we live in North Carolina. My girlfriend loves to cook. She told me so on our first date. However, I'm not the biggest fan of Indian food. I find that a lot of spices used in Indian food irritate my stomach, and I've got a very low tolerance for hot, spicy food. She never had an issue with this, and never forced me to eat anything I didn't want to. In fact, whenever I stayed over, she made things like pancakes and French toast, and they were incredible. She's a very good cook. 2 weeks ago, we moved in together. Our place has a large, fully equipped kitchen, and my girlfriend was ecstatic about all the things she can do. I was happy to see her so happy. However, in all our excitements, I didn't realize how our food preferences could actually become a problem. You see, I didn't realize that she cooks and eats a lot of Indian food, like all the time. For the past year, whenever we spent time at each other's apartments, she's always made me things like ramen, pasta, lasagna, tacos, soups, grilled cheese, etc. So I figured that that's what she normally ate. I have a few Indian American friends, and they told me that they don't exclusively eat Indian food at home, so I thought it would be the same thing with her. Yesterday, she was super excited to show me something and dragged me to the kitchen. There, she unveiled a whole drawer of spices. We're talking 20 to 30 different types of whole, crushed, powdered spices, neatly stored in glass bottles and labeled. I asked why she needed so many spices, and she replied, "To cook Indian food, silly." I told her that I didn't like Indian food, and she told me not to worry. She wouldn't force me to eat anything, that it's just for her meals, and that she'd make separate meals for me. I asked her then if she could simply not cook Indian food at all in our house because the smell is so pungent, and if she'd cook regular food instead. She told me that Indian food is regular food for her, and I'm going to have to get used to it. I insisted though, but she said that she'll only consider giving up cooking Indian food if I give up cooking meat at home. She's vegetarian because she doesn't like the smell of meat being cooked. I told her that it was an unfair ask because she never objected when I cook with meat at my apartment. She told me that she's only demanding that I give it up because I'm doing the same thing to her. I got quite mad and told her she was being extremely unreasonable as I need meat. I work out a lot and I need the protein, but she doesn't need to eat Indian food all the time and can order takeout if she craves it. She told me that restaurants are not very good where we live, and that it's unhealthy to eat takeout every day. We ended up arguing for a while, and now we're not talking to each other. So, am I the butthole for insisting that she doesn't cook with spices? I mean, guys, this has to be one of the most crazy first stories I've ever read from this subreddit. Not only, OP, are you absolutely the butthole, I mean, that's not even up for debate, you're also racist, my friend. Well, you're not my friend, but that is racist. Saying that your girlfriend should eat regular food rather than Indian food. Indian food is regular. Like, what is regular food? That's not a thing. You have your food that you like. Your Indian girlfriend, by the way, likes Indian food. I mean, what a shock. She has the food that she likes. None of it's regular food. It's just food. It's just racist. You've pretty much just said that Indian food smells and is irregular. What a lovely person. You see, what I don't get is how the relationship has come this far. You knew that this woman is very into her cooking and is a very good cook. You also knew she was Indian. I mean, like, if you don't like Indian food, that's probably not the best person to go for. Honestly, OP, I think you are a bit of an idiot, and I think your girlfriend deserves a lot better than you. Sorry to say it, but it's true. Now for our next post. Am I the butthole for a joke I made during my best man speech? I was recently the best man at my friend's second wedding. I was also the best man at his first. Now, I saw this joke online and it made me laugh, so I stole it, and for my opening speech, I said, "Right, well, welcome back everyone," which got more than a few laughs, especially from the bride, who seemed to find it hilarious. Everything went well. Speech over and done with, though later on, after a few drinks, my friend began to rip me a new butthole, telling me I was out of line with that kind of joke and how I'd embarrassed him and it wasn't funny and that I shouldn't have brought his last marriage into this. I mean, a best man speech will always be more jokey than anything, and beyond that, it was fairly tame, and that was the only reference to his last marriage. So, Was I really that out of line? Now this one is massively up for debate. I actually don't even know what I think with this one. First of all, it's great that the wife enjoyed it, right? It can't have been that bad. It got laughs, people enjoyed the joke, but ultimately at a wedding, as the best man, you are there kind of for the groom, right? So the fact that he didn't like it, I don't know. It's very, very tough, this one. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm not completely sure. Like, I would have thought, given that you are best mates or whatever, that you would have known what his reaction would have been to that joke. Obviously, you don't really want to run it past him before it because it would have ruined the surprise and the joke. I don't know. Like, it's a shame that that happened. Is it too far? The wife liked it. Everyone else liked it. It's tough because it is the groom's wedding. It's not your day, but your job is to take the, I don't know, hard one. I'm going to lean towards not the butthole on this one, even though I see it from both sides. Let me know what you think. Now moving on to our third post. Am I the butthole for eating an entire cake by myself in a single day? Yesterday was my 27th birthday. I haven't had a birthday cake for many years because my wife felt that it would go to waste, considering it's just the two of us at home. So she'd just buy 2 slices of cake, one for her and one for me. This time, however, I wanted a cake for my birthday. I've been feeling down lately and thought that maybe a birthday cake would uplift my mood. So I asked my wife if she'd bake me one of her famous plum cakes. She usually makes it for girls' nights and family potlucks, etc. She agreed on the condition that I'd have to finish the entire cake and not waste any of it, because she'd only be able to eat 1 slice of it. I happily agreed to her condition and she got onto baking the cake. Yesterday morning, we cut the cake and she had a slice for breakfast. She then said that I'd have to finish the cake by the end of the day because she didn't want any cake leftovers. I managed to finish the rest of the cake during the course of the day pretty easily. When my wife came to know that I had finished the cake, she started scolding me, calling me greedy and a pig. She said she didn't think I'd be such a glutton and finish the entire cake all by myself. She also said she'll never make cake for me again. So, am I the butthole? I'll tell you what, OP, you're definitely not the butthole, but your wife is a bit weird. I mean, she's literally said, I'm only doing this if you eat the whole thing. And you've done that. And now she's saying, why'd you do that? Where's the logic, lady? I don't get it. Also, nothing wrong with eating a whole cake on your own, just out of principle. I mean, cakes are nice. And it's your birthday. Do whatever you want. If you want a whole cake, my friend, go for it. I think there's, to be honest though, I really think there's something a little bit deeper going on here. Like, I don't really know why your wife wanted you to finish it in one day anyway. I mean, cake keeps for longer than a day. What's wrong with a little bit of leftovers? And then also she was attacking you for doing that. Is she trying to like punish you or make you feel, you know, you get what I'm saying? It might be deeper than the cake here. This might be a relationship issue. I don't care though, because I don't know these people. Let's move on. All right, moving on. Would I be the butthole if I don't invite my wife to my birthday party? I know it sounds horrible, but bear with me. I love my wife. However, she has some insecurities when it comes to my group of friends. She claims it feels like I enjoy myself much more when I'm with them than with her. She also says that one of my friends has a crush on me, which makes her uneasy. Now, I promise you, I adore my wife, and we've talked about this and how none of this is true, and she's currently going to therapy, but it is still hard for her. She's never asked me to stop seeing them or anything like that, but I know it upsets her when I go out with them. I also told my friend that supposedly has a crush on me that my wife wasn't comfortable with our relationship and that we'd have to keep some distance. The truth is, I really like my group of friends. I always have such a great time with them, and I would hate it if our friendship got lost. So, it's gonna be my birthday next Thursday, and my wife has asked me several times what my plans are and what would make me happy. She gets excited more than I do about my birthday. I finally told her that I'd be having dinner with her and my folks on Thursday, dinner exclusively with her on Friday, and throw a party with my friends on Saturday, while she can stay home and sleep. She's got to work really early on Sunday. I thought this was a fair plan, but she didn't. She got super upset about this because it makes her sad how in 8 years I've never organised a party, no matter how much she insisted, because I hate my birthday. It's true. But now with my friends, I'm excited and organising a party that won't even include her. I told her I did include her by being with her on Thursday and Friday, and that if she had asked me to come, I would have said yes. Then I told her that I'd rather just avoid a problem with her and that I was going to cancel the party. She thought about it and said I was probably right and that she shouldn't be so upset. She said she didn't want to ruin my birthday and that I could go on with the party plans, but now I'm not so sure. Should I cancel this party? She won't be coming to it because she has to work on that day. Now, with this one, it's quite hard to really judge because it's impossible to know the inner workings of your relationship, OP, but it does sound quite buttholey, not gonna lie. You haven't invited her to your own birthday party, your wife. I mean, that on its own is a bit crazy. Doesn't even matter like if she likes it or not. The fact that she's not invited to your own birthday party is a little bit weird. I mean, look, I get it. Maybe she doesn't want to be there. That's all right. But at least give her the opportunity to come. Invite her. Say this is happening. Say it's going to be with your friends and it's your party. You know, it is your party at the end of the day. But give her the chance to say yes or no. That's the main thing, I think, on this one. It's just a bit weird, though, that you wouldn't want your wife at your party. Like, they're not young, by the way. They're in their 30s. It's very strange. But, hey, pretty complex relationship. I don't want to go any deeper than that. And now for our final Am I the Butthole post. Am I the butthole for leaving a bad review on a diner and ruining the waitress's life just because she was complimenting my husband's eyes? My husband's birthday was several days ago. We decided to go and celebrate at a new diner and invited my in-laws to join us. Throughout the entire celebration, this 20-ish waitress who served our table kept acting strangely. She didn't take her eyes off my husband and threw some inappropriate comments at him and in front of us as she came and went. I was feeling uncomfortable, but I decided not to make a scene, hoping she'd stop. But when she brought the drinks, she puts them on the table, leans close enough towards my husband, thinking nobody would hear, but we heard what she said, and says, "The sparkle of those eyes is igniting me." P.S. My husband has electric blue eyes. I was flabbergasted. Truly, I couldn't believe she just said that. I told her, "You know what? You're being inappropriate right now and you need to stop." She then smug smiled, turned around and walked away. I got weird looks from my in-laws and it was awful. I got home and left a very bad review on the diner. The next day, I'm contacted by the manager, asking me to specify the bad experience I had at their diner, and I tell him. He then calls back and tells me their business is new and that this kind of review might harm their reputation. Then asks what it would take for me to take it down. I tell him some consequences for the waitress. He calls back to tell me that he's just fired her, but before I take down the review, I'm contacted by the waitress on my SM telling me that she didn't mean to cause disturbance and was just complimenting my husband's eyes. But I've now ruined her career and caused her to potentially lose her apartment and become homeless after getting fired from the diner and being unable to pay rent. I don't respond, but my in-laws point out that I overreacted and this stuff happens too often at diners and I've just caused irreparable damage to this young lady's life over nothing. Also, my mother-in-law said that I must have done this because I felt jealous of the waitress. So, am I the butthole? Comment down below before I even say anything. What do you think? Is OP the butthole? For me, it's a little bit of the same as the previous one. Like, yes and no. Yes, this woman, this waitress, was definitely flirting with your husband, and you have every right to say, don't do that. That's absolutely fine. It's not the most comfortable thing. Obviously, it's not nice to see. But then saying to the owner, I'm only going to be satisfied and remove my review if you punish the waitress. It's a bit like unnecessary, isn't it? What difference is that going to make to your life? Like, the meal's done now. It happened. It's not going to change anything. And yeah, I'm sure the waitress does feel very annoyed. Like, one compliment or, well, flirting with one guy and now she's lost her job. A little bit harsh, isn't it? I mean, look, she shouldn't have done it. That's completely fine. But it's a bit much to cause someone to get fired for one little comment. I don't know, a bit too far in my opinion. I think you should have just laughed at it really and been happy that a young, attractive woman is flirting with your husband. It's pretty cool, right? Compliment. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of r/am I the butthole. If you want to watch more from this subreddit right away, please check out this video on screen. If you are new to the channel and you haven't already subscribed, please do so by clicking this button and turn notifications on so you see tomorrow's video when it's posted. I'll see you all there.